Hello everybody, this is Rogie Horner. Thanks for joining me today. And as you can see from your opening slide, we're talking about IBFX Connect tonight. So I'm not going to make this a long, drawn-out presentation. I am going to talk, however, specifically about what social trading and social media have done to trading right now. I'm going to give you kind of a walkthrough what IBFX Connect does and different ideas about how you can use this as a resource, this and the other resources we have at IBFX to kind of build a base of knowledge, build a base of reference for your trading. It's funny because one of the things that I love about IBFX Connect, and let's just jump on over to the website for those of you that have not seen it yet. And by the way, if you have other questions, certainly today's kind of an open mic or open text day as far as the session goes. So if you do have some other questions, please feel free to type them in and we'll certainly address them, okay? So as you can tell from what's been happening in social media, part of the transition that we're seeing is certainly more and more of the attitude of kind of this collective, kind of this group that doesn't necessarily trade the same way and doesn't necessarily even trade the same symbols, but this idea of creating a community around trading particular markets like Forex, like futures, like stocks, like anything. So, you know, one thing a lot of traders find very quickly, and one of the reasons that day trading rooms were so popular in the mid to late 90s was the fact that people quickly find out something that I've been talking about for 20 years. Trading can be very lonely. Now, I find a lot of traders do like a certain amount of individual solitude, kind of a hermit type work environment. You know, not everybody likes a lot of people in their work environment. A lot of people like to have a certain degree of quiet and solitude, and I get that because I'm that way. But at some point, it does get boring, and at some point, it does get incredibly lonely in the light of being able to share something that we are very passionate about. I'm assuming most people here, like me, are very passionate about their trading. So we love sharing our ideas, and if we do have an idea, sometimes we like bouncing it off somebody else who speaks our language. And that's what IBFX Connect is. It's a group of people that not only speak your language, but are probably referencing some of the same types of tools. Because another challenge in trading is having a group of people that kind of share your view of what's important, you know, sharing your view of the types of tools that you want to use and so forth. And that's what's so great, again, about this, because likely a lot of the people that are on IBFX Connect have read, or at least I hope they have, are reading what's being posted at the Daily Forex Trading Edge and have been to IBFXU.com. So in that way, you know, you guys have a certain commonality. In fact, you know, even down to order execution. You know, there's going to be a lot of common factors with some of the tools you use. You know, if you're on the IBFX trading platform, you know, you might be talking about some of the same tools, even looking at what's happening on your account. You know, looking at what's happening with your price feed or different types of tools that you're using, because you're probably going to be accessing a lot of the same custom indicators or EAs and that type of thing. So let me tell you what I've done so far, and you can think about what it possibly can do for you. This is my account, okay, and I've just I have a particular account. I have a number of separate accounts. Let me just put it that way first, just personally. I'm not recommending anything to anybody. I'm just letting you know how I've set up. I have a number of accounts. This will be my third, and this one I've specifically linked to the Connect website. And it's not difficult to do, by the way. Basically, you do need I would recommend that you download the newest version of the IBFX Trader 4 platform. You can do so at IBFX.com, just so you know. And I've been mentioning this in a lot of the webinars. Make sure you're using the build that was the May 11. So it's build 402. All right. So once you've got that, you'll be able to use a lot of the tools you see, actually all the tools you see here on this screen, the grab candles, the wave, the auto chartist plugin, the power stats. All this stuff will be accessible when you go to your navigator. Okay, they'll all be built into this platform, as well as the mini terminal. Okay, so there's a lot of the tools that you'll have built into this platform. Okay, and for whatever reason, whenever I do these webinars, this mini terminal does not, and I don't know if it has something to do with the webinar software running at the same time or what. It might have to do with the fact that I'm running a recording session and this webinar software. Who knows? Because I never have this problem during the day. But essentially, what you'll have are all the tools that I'm using right now. Okay, and I've opened this up in particular, again, for this particular, for the Connect. So that's what's linked up. So I've linked up this particular account to Connect. All right, so this is mine. Let me take you back over to the Connect site. The actual Connect part is really easy. I won't necessarily we'll walk you through it unless you guys want me to, but there's a lot of very simple instructions that are available right from the website. It's basically a small EA that you will install and then drop onto one chart and minimize out of your way, so it basically is a bridge. It actually is a Connect bridge, okay, and into your platform, and it will populate your profile at IBFX Connect. I'm going to log into my account right now. It will link your account to your profile, and here's where it's really interesting, because you don't have to use your real name. Obviously I have, but you don't have to use your real name. Nobody has to know it's you, okay? But what's cool is you'll know it's you, and you get a number of very powerful tools, analytical tools, in the website, because number one, you have your activity. Maybe you have a thought about a market. Maybe you had an idea you wanted to share. Maybe you wrote an article or have an opinion about a pair. You can actually post that, very a la Facebook, or even more so Twitter. Okay? So again, that social aspect of trading. Also, when you place trades, and let me scroll down here and show you some of the trades that I placed. When you place trades, it'll show you what you've done and if you closed the trade out and what you did and whether you won or lost. You can see here, my wins, my losses, they're there, good, bad, it's all there. All right, so you can see some of my trades, and as I trade, it populates on my activity board. Now, since I just linked in an account specific to IBFX Connect, this is a brand new account, so my trading activity, does it show anything yet? Because I've just linked it up. All right, but what's neat is eventually what you'll be able to see is a collection of your trading activity, your performance, your stats, which pairs you've been trading, etc. Let me show you one that is populated, and you can get an idea. By the way, it'll also show you, if you're following different people. Let me go back here. If you're following different people, it will show you whether the account is a live or a demo, and that does count for me. Okay, mainly because people will trade demos a little differently than they'll trade real money. So let's just go back to the home page and let me show you some other neat things. And by the way, I hope you understand that this is kind of akin, but a lot of you might go, well, I've always wanted to start a trading journal or analyze my trades. This will do it for you. You can actually let this do the calculations for you, even the trading journal part. You could make notes and make posts and make comments that'll stay on your activity feed that you can refer to later on, okay, which is what's so great about it. So it can, in fact, become in many ways a trading journal for you. All right. Another thing and I was mentioning is you can go to some of the top performers here. Whether you want to take the top 6, there are 5 that are listed on the home page, or whether you want to click to a more complete list, whatever it is, you can click on one of these names if you'd like. Okay, let's just click on the top one, Alan 84. I don't know who Alan 84 is, and you know, Alan 84 obviously can do what he wants in relative anonymity, yet he knows who he is and he can do his own analysis. So if we click on Alan 84, he's got himself a cool little avatar here, or whatever they call this. You can see what, number one, it's a live account. It shows his deposits, what his balance is, okay, and so forth. How many pips he's made, his percentage of return. Again, remember, it's a live account. It shows his percentage return, profit, okay, his balance, his unrealized profit. In other words, what are live trades and how they're doing right now, okay. His withdrawals, interest, the whole thing, right? And you can see this for yourself as well, okay? And if you just put your mouse over each one of these, you'll see it'll explain what it is. Okay, so he put a total of $2,352.19 into the account, and you can see what he's done, okay? Daily return, average monthly rate. That stuff's fine, but I think here's where it gets interesting. And let's blow this up just a little bit. Here's where it gets interesting. You'll be able to see profitability, long, shorts. Again, imagine you're Alan 84. Imagine this is your account, and you can have this type of analysis done to your account. Okay, what's your best trade? What's your worst trade? You'll get an idea of what kind of, you know, a lot of times people are shocked when they're struggling. They'll find that their best trade, you know, obviously it's a positive, at least I hope it is, and then they'll see their worst trade, it's much, much worse than their best trade. In other words, they might notice that they tend to cut their winners short and let their losers run. You can get an idea if you favor the long or short side of trades, how long you're in a position, etc. Okay? A lot of people ask about Sharpe ratios, and you can see here that you can calculate that for you. None of this you have to do. Once you link your account up, all this is done for you, and this is literally just an unbelievably powerful trade journal, especially if you input your own ideas into your activity feed, and then on top of that, incorporate this analysis. All right? We can see the pairs that he's trading, where he's done most of his trades. You'll be able to look at your trading. Find out, wow, is there a particular pair that I'm doing more activity in? Okay? Am I focusing on one pair? And even more so than that, you can then go to see what your success rate is in the individual pairs. So if you've been trading a while and you're going, you know, I'm kind of having hit or miss results, maybe you'll find out that there are a couple pairs that you seem to really have a feel for. Again, you'll be able to see the trading summary by instrument to see that perhaps you have a feel for the cable or the fiber or whatever you may have. Okay? You'll be able to see the gains, the P&L, and whether or not you dominate longs and shorts, the lots you've traded. You can see here on the Euro-US dollar, Alan 84 has traded a darn near 1,200 lots. Okay, so very, 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 very active. Okay? Average duration is about 4 hours. So, you know, I'm just taking a look at one particular person here. You know, we can look at somebody else. We can look at anybody. And again, what I'm trying to show is that you can do this for yourself, in that once you've used the Connect bridge to allow the IBFX site just to access this website and let this web access your account through your IBFX4. There's nothing that it's taking from your account in terms of information or anything other than your activity. Anything else that you post at IBFX Connect, like this, that would end up on the feed, other than your trades, when you bought or sold something, would be comments that you voluntarily put in, like you would on Facebook or Twitter. So I've kind of likened this, and I don't know if it's exactly the best way to describe it, but the way it feels to me is Twitter with an account link, which is just really cool. Okay? Now here's how I'm using this. Okay, there's a couple of neat things also. You can see what the community, and by the way, the community is probably closing in on about 2,000 traders at this point. Let me mention that we've been kind of public for less than 5 days. I think tomorrow will be the 5th day that we're public and released to everybody. So, in a month or two, you can imagine what the community is going to be like. I've actually been, let me give you a personal insight. I've actually loved being connected to this, and I access it from my iPad. I access it from my iPhone, and I was thinking, gosh, I'd love to be able to look at my charts and access the platform, the IBFX Connect platform, while I'm, intraday, while I'm doing things intraday, and really have, access to the market. But, even though I have a 13-inch MacBook, it's not exactly the most portable thing. And lo and behold, I've been eyeballing a 13-inch MacBook Air, one of the new Airs, with the flash memory for a couple months now. Maybe not quite that long, but at least a month and a half, maybe longer. I was lusting after this thing before they even released it. And lo and behold, my best friend actually gave me an early birthday present, and I have one sitting on my desk right now, which I will probably spend most of the evening outfitting to become a portable trading unit for me, because I've been using my iPad to a lot of success, but having a computer, nothing really compares to that. And I'm super excited because I'll be able to be even more active on the Connect board, which, I hope that you guys will as well. By the way, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And I can see here there's a question that's popped up. I thank you, and that comes from Barry, who asked, is there a way to see how many traders are connected at any one time? Interesting. Barry, I will tell you that I just saw, it was either a Facebook post or a Twitter tweet where IBFX posted on their feed, basically, keep the feedback coming, because we're looking to add different features and different capabilities to this platform, and that's an interesting one. And I know exactly what you mean, because sometimes in a forum you can see, like Forex Factory, they'll show you how many people are logged in right now, or if you're looking at a piece of analysis, you can see who's accessing it right then and there. That's an interesting. That's a very interesting question. I don't believe you can see that, but I don't see why it's not something we can't in the near future incorporate. That's a very cool idea. How many traders are online at any one time? Okay, that's cool. I'll actually jot that down, Barry. So I'm gonna email them how many traders are. Of course, my pen died. Okay, here we go. How many traders are currently online? Is that a good way of putting it, Barry? That's a great idea. I think it's a very cool idea. How many community members are online right now? Fantastic. Love that. Okay, here's another question. Will it be accessible in time for other MT4 broker accounts? I couldn't tell you, Freddie. Could not tell you. I can tell you that IBFX is, I think, the first major U.S. retail broker to actually do this. Social trading, and social trading is a very interesting, where the web is going. I don't know how many of you read Wired magazine, and I know I'm going off on a little tangent here, but I don't know how many of you read Wired magazine. I do from time to time. And Wired magazine had this great piece on why the web is dead. That was the big headline. I don't know how many of you saw it. It was this bright orange, like caution color, and a big black text that said the web is dead. And what they were talking about is that they were basically saying that the web as we know it really is no longer the live thing it once was, where individual sites are where people go to when they log in. In fact, there's about 5 or 10 websites that people access. That's it, on a regular basis. So they go to Facebook, or they go to Twitter, they go to Google, they go, so basically people are staying very much in one place. They're not going to all these other different .com, they're staying in one place. So the social aspect of the web is basically putting you in kind of a controlled environment. Think of Apple, what Apple has done. You stay in their environment. That's what's happening to the web. It's these small environments that we hop to, like from lily pad to lily pad. We jump from Twitter to Facebook. I'm a big StockTwits fan. I'll jump into that environment. I jump into IBFX Connect. You know, I find myself very rarely going to other websites. And in fact, for that matter, during the trading day, I seldom even have to leave my platform because I can get news right from my platform. So I can get the Dow Jones feed here. I've got my alerts. I can keep a journal here if I decided to, you know, or I've got the different information, right? I've got IBFX for my journal. What's even other options is I've got IBFX Connect built in right into my platform where I can access a calendar, Twitter, my dashboard, the daily trading edge, you know, my account, the auto chartist, power stats, and chart pattern or Fibonacci pattern recognition. It's all built in there. So I'm in this environment. I really don't have to leave anywhere. And that's kind of where the web is going. So, you know, when you look at something like the Connect, you know, I can even actually trade through the platform, the IBFX, I should say trade through the website where I can copy trades. I can, if it's my trade, I can actually close it out right from the website in terms of accessing it here. And once you guys check it out, you'll see what I mean. So I can access in many ways that bridge to the account right through the website. And I'm probably not doing it justice yet, but you really have to get in there and experience it to see what I mean. So this is why it's been so exciting. I think this is why it's been so well received, because there just really isn't another environment right now that a retail forex broker is offering where you've got the analysis, you've got the interaction with other traders and ideas, got the Twitter feed built in, PRS, you know, everything that I want to access between IBFX Connect and my platform is there. So that's kind of this new avenue of this social trading. It's not just talking with other people. You know, it's not just following somebody's trade or copying them or anything like that. It's this new way that we're interacting with the internet, with this idea of the internet. It's actually creating an environment. You know, what IBFX has done is create an environment for us in which everything we need is there. We don't have to go running around looking for it. And that's really where the social web is going. And I probably didn't do it justice, but that's kind of where it's going. So as far as information that you may want to block, that's another great question. You know, what I would recommend to everybody here is if you want to keep some things private, I would, again, I use my name because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. I obviously have analysis I'm writing out there. There's no sense of me being private, right? But what I would recommend is, you know, create that alter ego. You don't have to use your real name. Nobody's going to know it's you. I would utilize personally all the analytical tools of the website. You can choose to show percentages versus pips. I mean, there are some choices you can make as far as what you want to ultimately reveal to, you know, just like Facebook. You can make some choices as to what you ultimately want to reveal to to the members of the website. You know, as far as emails and birthdays and whatever else, you know. You know, all that's there. Here's the privacy. Okay, I'm showing you guys everything here. I don't know how smart that is of me, but I'm showing you guys everything here. Okay, as far as what I have access to, even up to whether or not I want other members to send me messages and whatnot. Maybe you just want to show monetary value. Maybe you don't. You know, Vincent, maybe you want to X out monetary values and just have lot sizes there. It's really up to you. It's a lot of flexibility. Okay, and again, I would highly recommend anyone uncomfortable everyone's got a nickname. Everyone's got a cool name, you know, other than who they are. As far as their full name, you don't have to use it. Okay, you don't have. There's really. We went into Alan 84. Was there any information in Alan 84's profile that indicated who he was in any way? You know, if you guys didn't know who I was, who I am, you know, I could use any name. There's just nothing really there that, you know, if you want to stay private, absolutely. So yes, Ricky, you can follow my trades, my commentary, my ideas. Yes, this is again like a Twitter account with. It's a Twitter account with basically trade transparency. So yes, that would be affirmative. You can. Okay, and again, I'm super excited because I got my new toy today. I got my new surprise MacBook Air today, and I'll be able to carry this around with me and access the markets and access the Connect website and just be more in touch. So my bestie's gift here couldn't have come at a better time. So with all that in mind, let me move down this list of questions here. And it's not just my trades. You can follow anybody's trades for that matter. Okay. Will we be able to know my trades when I place them while you are in each trade app? Yes. Ken, basically what happens is, from what I understand, and again, you got to remember, I'm only into this about 5 days too, but maybe 5-10 days. I got access to it about a week ago and before it went public. So, I mean, I haven't been on this for months or anything. But basically what happens, you can see the way the live activity feed just scrolls. From what I remember, when I got out of trades, I mean, I clicked on my MT4, did whatever I did, or a limit was hit, and then just like you see now, it just, I no sooner did that, minimized my platform, went to IBFX Connect, looked at the page, and it had populated. So, I mean, it was almost instant. I don't know if it's instant because I didn't look at my platform and the IBFX Connect site at the same time, but it was, by the time I got there, which was just a few moments, it was already populated there. Okay. As far as why it keeps logging us out, I noticed that here today too. I will say we're probably going through a little bit of growing pains, and frankly, I don't even know that. I know I didn't, and I'm fairly certain that perhaps even IBFX wasn't aware that this would really be as popular as it is so quickly. You know, we had maybe some hesitation. People may not want to connect bridge. People can be very private, but I think people are realizing that they can have as much anonymity and privacy as they want, yet it's just a really fun place to hang, and the analysis tools for your account are just fantastic. So the benefit privately for you to be able to analyze your trades is just really second to none. So I think what happened is people are just signing up at such a clip. We're probably going through some growing pains, and that's my only guess, Summer. Okay. All right. So taking a look at, again, these are what I like the most about this. Obviously, am I biased? I mean, sure. I mean, I'm the chief currency analyst for IBFX, so obviously, this is where I'm going to hang my hat. I like being able to trade with people who have access to the same tools that I've got, who are on the same platform as I'm on, who are likely reading the same analysis or reading the analysis that I'm actually writing. It makes the discussion really enjoyable for me. And the copy trade button is just what it says, copy to my account. And one thing you guys may want to do in the very beginning, before you start running with live trades, is hook it up to your demo first. You can check it out for a couple weeks, and you can hook it up to a live account. If you have a live account right now, you can open up a demo, just to see how it works. So, before you go live, I actually haven't clicked on the copy trade, to be honest with you. Have not done that yet. By the way, if you have any questions, and I'm sure you have plenty because I am nowhere near as proficient as probably some of our customer service peeps, okay? But if you have any questions, you can there's a no luck, contact us question button, and you can send feedback and report a bug and whatever else. And of course, you can call customer service. You know, my live account holders out there, even demos, call customer service, and they'll walk you through whatever they can as far as your questions are about the platform. Again, remember, this is a very new product, and please be patient. We've worked a lot of the bugs out already, but until you've got thousands of people hammering on the site, you never really know what you're going to deal with. All right, so as far as the steps of getting it linked, it'll walk you through it one by one, but the main step is you create an account. You have a separate username and password for your IBFX account, Connect account, then you do your trading account. Your trading account has a username and password, or an account number and password, and your IBFX has a username and password. And once you go through the process, start it up, they'll walk you through step by step. One of letting IBFXConnect.com know your account number, demo or live. Then it'll prompt you to download a Connect bridge. That Connect bridge, once you run that small little program, will put in your platform, on your IBFX Trader 4 platform, it'll actually put a small EA called the Connect bridge right here. You can see that right there. It'll put the Connect bridge in your expert advisors list. And what you're going to do is basically open up one chart that you're not going to do anything with. Okay, this is my one chart that I'm not going to do anything with. Doesn't matter what symbol it's on or anything. You're going to activate it on one chart. Okay? You're then going to go into the expert advisors properties, and you're going to put in your username and password. Okay? And then once you've done all that, okay, it'll actually show monitoring. Has my account number, and it'll start to monitor your account. Minimize it. Don't ever close it, because if you close it, you shut off the EA, and it shuts off the bridge to IBFX Connect. So that's it. That's basically the steps. And there's a small, like I said, a small installation file that will put the Connect bridge in your expert advisors list, put it on one chart, log in with your IBFX Connect username and password, which you would have set up when you're opening your IBFX account access, your membership, and that's it, really. Again, that's what I did, and that's what seems to be working. So what I recommend you do, and I'm not out there to tell you to go run around copying my trades or anybody else's, until you spend some time observing their trading style, understanding their risk tolerance, making sure it's in line with your risk tolerance, okay? Do all that, and then step back and ask yourself, okay, one, do I want to use this as a trading journal / trade analysis tool, okay? Or two, do I really want to get in there and start using this to help me get some trade ideas and maybe even copy some trades, okay? Really up to you. There's no right or wrong. Everybody's got a different way of using it. But I will tell you, following sometimes is really powerful too, because you can just start to see how somebody is setting up trades. In fact, you can even like or comment a trade setup. So let's say you're following somebody at IBFXConnect.com. You're looking at all the different posts, and you see a trade pop up, and if that person's willing to help you out, one of the things they can do is reply to your question or comment. Be respectful. Sometimes, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I'll get a tweet, 140 characters, right? And someone will ask me this ginormous question. And, not to be rude, but really, you know, this, or even on Facebook, they'll ask me these very general, huge questions. And I'll be frank, those are the questions I get to last. When someone asks me this big, wide-sweeping question, and it's obvious that they haven't done any homework on their own. I'll give you a great example. I got a very nice gentleman ask me a question about Bloomberg, the Bloomberg terminal. And I said, well, you know, if I had any experience with it. And I said, you know, I had it in the mid-90s for a little while, even late 90s. Very expensive compared to other platforms. Very good, but I don't necessarily feel that every trader needs it. And I thought, you know, I don't reply to my Facebook questions, but this is a quick and easy question. So, okay, he asked me a quick and easy question. What do I think of Bloomberg? Boom, 2 sentences. He said, where can I get more information about Bloomberg? And I'm thinking, you know, Google is probably a pretty good place. So I gave him the URL, go to Bloomberg.com. But I said, frankly, I don't use Bloomberg, I use eSignal. His next question was, what's eSignal? At that point, I'll be frank, and not to be rude, the conversation was over. I haven't replied back because I quickly found out that this gentleman had not spent a nanosecond on Google looking any of this up on his own. Okay? And I realize that a lot of people want to ask questions of you know, anyone that has knowledge that they would like to learn from, but yet, you know, at some point they've got to acknowledge the fact that some of the legwork has to be done on their own. And I only say this because I want to make sure that, number one, you're doing some of the legwork on your own, and number two, if you find somebody on the activity feed that you really like, be respectful of their time, especially if you notice that they're a live trader. Okay? Be respectful of the time, ask pointed questions, try to pick up as much as you can by observing their habits, go into their trading activity, study it. You know, it's a great learning tool. And then say, you know, I noticed you're spending a lot of time on the euro-US dollar. I see you've been long a lot because you can take a lot of that information right from the analysis and say, hey, can you explain a little bit as to why you took this particular trade? You know, something as quick and general as quick and specific as possible, without being general, without him having or her having to answer in a novel. Because I'll tell you, when you ask those quick and easy questions, you will get replies. Okay, from me or anybody else for that matter. When somebody feels that you're not willing to do the work, they'll usually just won't have time. I've got questions in my Facebook that I have yet to get to, even though I'd like to get to them. I'm just getting too many. Or even my email, it just gets buried, and I feel terrible when a really great question is buried amongst all the big general ones. You know, it just kills me because I get some great questions in my email box that sometimes are very, very great, but again, they're buried by the general ones, and it just kills me. So anyways, I know I went off on a little tangent / tirade, but I really want you to get the most from this. And frankly, any webinar, seminar, teaching, you know, I want you to get the most of that time with whoever the expert is. And as someone who's been up on the podium, I'm telling you, the questions that we respond best to are the ones that, one, reflect the fact that you've done some homework on your own. Two, you're not trying to impress me, but you're trying to ask me a question. And three, keep it very succinct and specific. You will get an answer, and the person there will likely give you even more than you wanted because they're so appreciative of how much thought you put into it. And I got to tell you guys here in this room, I'm always so impressed by how specific you guys are. You make presenting here really a pleasure. But to get the most out of the feed, and it looks like there's a little bit of a glitch happening right now as we speak, I'm telling you, this is some serious growing pains. I don't think anybody expected the site to just blow up the way it did in terms of users. So as far as a great set of tools in terms of the IBFX Connect, the Daily Forex Trading Edge, okay, those are 2 ways to see what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. And I'll even post some of my commentary, like short Twitter-like commentary on IBFX Connect. So if you miss something on the live activity feed and you're trying to follow someone in particular, go to their particular username and you can see their activity isolated from the general feed. You can also see here, sometimes there'll be traders that you frankly notice are scalpers or traders who have a style that you don't necessarily want to be viewing or they're simply too active, or whatever it is. You can actually just choose from top traders or just the traders that you're following. Just like in Facebook or Twitter, I should say more like Twitter, you can follow certain traders, basically befriend them through the website. And basically you can ask the IBFX Connect website to only show you the updates from those users. That's another powerful aspect of what you can do here. Okay? All right. So that is my hopefully quick and breakdown of getting the most out of social media, period. I know that you guys might be friends on Facebook with people and on Twitter and here at IBFX Connect. And hopefully I gave you some insight on how to get your question answered. These are things that I learned early on when I was trying to learn, trying to get to people who normally are unreachable. How do I make sure that my email or my letter or my phone call gets returned? Those are the things that I learned. Ask the question, and then, as one of my trading mentors would say, ask the question and then shut up. Let them answer. Take in as much as you can. I try to talk as little as possible when I'm around anybody who I want to learn from. So get the Connect bridge hooked up on your account. Use an anonymous nickname if you'd like for privacy. You can, again, reveal as much as you do or don't want in the privacy link. Hopefully you've seen that. I'm there, Raghi Horner. Raghi Horner is my my username at IBFXConnect.com. We've got the Daily Forex Trading Edge, where I've got trading ideas, and I'm going to use this more like Twitter, hopefully in the future, to not only show my trade since I've got the Connect bridge, but also reveal when I'm actually watching a setup so it doesn't come out of nowhere, and you can actually hopefully set the trade up and take a look at it before the fact as well. Okay? Classify. Okay, that's interesting. The only problem with that, Barry, is so many traders, number one, use different definitions for all those classifications, right? I think probably the best way to determine that on your own, and a lot of traders might use a lot of those strategies simultaneously. Like I might have a momentum trade going while I have a quick 5-minute day trade going and a longer term position. So I might use a couple of those different strategies simultaneously. What I will tell you, again, when the Trop Traders comes up, what you can do is look at their average holding time. So if I go to one of these top live performers, click on their, or anybody who I'm watching, go to their average holding time, and even average holding time for different pairs. And perhaps then you'll get a better idea of, for example, trading summary by instrument, 4-day average duration on the cable, 4-minute average duration on the Euro-US dollar, which is interesting. But then when I look at the actual number of cable trades, that's a lot of cable trades there. And I also realize this person is very, very good at trading the cable. So I might get an idea of their strong suit for symbol, what symbols they seem to be very good at analyzing, and then look at the average duration. That might be something to do there, Barry, for sure. And you might find yourself following different users for different pairs even. In fact, if you're in a particular trade, you can go to the website, see where the community is, long or short, see where some of your favorite traders are, long or short. You can even see sometimes, it's interesting because now that I've been watching it for a couple of days straight, when different price movements occur, the stream actually begins to get more active. I can see trades clicking off quicker when there's information going on. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's a neat thing to study. All right, so unless anyone has any other questions, I guess we'll wrap it up there. I can't wait to start accessing this site from my MacBook, and again, this thing's going to be going everywhere with me, so I'm super excited about that. Hopefully you guys have a better idea of what this social media movement is, not just in this website, but generally speaking, where the web is going and where you want to hang your hat, because eventually that's what's going to happen. The web's going to be these little pockets, these little lily pads. You're going to hang out at a specific place. Be choosy about that place. Make sure it's a place where it supports you and gives you ideas and in this case analysis, and helps you become better at whatever it is you're doing, in this case obviously trading. All right, as always, thank you so much for your questions and your feedback, and heck, thanks for showing up. I always appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys next week for our next presentation. Take care, everybody.